Hello and welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at the string HTML wrapper method. The HTML wrapper methods are not the kind of method that are still, working in new or modern development like it used to be. But I am touch basing this wrapper method in case of backward compatibility with very old websites. So this used to be a way of manipulating HTML elements in the DOM back in the old version of JavaScript, but which are no longer effective, recommended because of flexibility and compatibility in new development of modern JavaScript development. But it's good to learn about them so that you have an idea of what we have new methods for used to be back in the days. HTML wrapper methods return a string wrapped inside an HTML tag. So you use HTML wrapper method with an HTML tag in order to return a string. These are not standard methods and may not work as expected. So they are not standard method in modern JavaScript and they may not work as expected, if at all, if they work. The HTML wrapper methods are deprecated in JavaScript. So the deprecated here means that for backward compatibility with very old websites, it will still work, but they may not be supported in modern browsers because modern browsers follow strict web standard, which means there might not be support for them if at all if they work. They are only standardized for compatibility purposes and are not recommended for new development. Modern web development practices advocate for using CSS for styling and DOM manipulation to create and modify HTML elements, providing greater control and flexibility. So what this is basically saying is that instead of these HTML wrapper methods, there are better ways to do them in new development or in modern JavaScript, through which you can use either CSS or a JavaScript itself to achieve the manipulation of working with DOM or with your HTML elements, thereby giving you greater control and flexibility. So there are some of these methods I've listed here, and I just want to read them out to us. We have the anchor method, big, bold method, blink method. So fixed method, font color, wrapper, font size, wrapper, italics, links, small strikes, subscript, and superscript. So all these are used to manipulate HTML element for to return a new HTML string. And let's see, we just pick one of these and see what it means. So this is our last code. So let me just try and pick one of the method. Let me do font color and see if I pass it in straight like this and see what we'll get. Okay, font size, let me set it to like maybe 50. Okay, is anything changing? No. So if I take a look at this in my browser, and you see something like type error, text dot font size is not a function. So this is simply saying that JavaScript does not understand what this means. Apparently, in a normal JavaScript, so if we want to achieve this, we can do something like, we can just add an ID here, call it demo, and then change this up a little bit and do get element by ID. My ID is demo dot style dot font size equals and you see that in modern JavaScript, look at it, you can see that there is an increased size in the value of my P by setting the style and the font size for this particular element I want to modify. Or if I don't want to use JavaScript, if I take this out, I can as well also say something like, okay, I want this, I want to return this, comment it out. So I can as well use my CSS to achieve the same just by putting in style. I can style the P itself. So what do I want to style? I want to style the ID and then say, okay, font size equals to 50 pixel. Take this and say, okay, color red, and then I can then say, okay, I want this back. I just want my um oh sorry. I need to close this line. So I just take this out and dot, HTML. Sorry, there's a typo error here, which is why what you are seeing on the screen was shown before. And say, okay, this is my ID of demo. I'm applying style onto it. 50 pixel and color of red. Oh, this is saying unknown property. Font size. Oh, sorry. Yeah, font size is like this. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So in normal CSS, we do it like that. I was coming from a JavaScript, perspective where you need to use camel casing for naming convention. That was why you were seeing there initially. So it is recommended that you use this, you use the CSS or you use JavaScript to achieve the purpose of when you want to increase this or you want to change color. So you can see that this is a more neater and a better approach than trying to use the wrapper on this ID inside JavaScript. So all these methods that are listed here are no longer, supported in new or modern development, even though they may still be working in very old websites that have been made as at when these methods were still valid. But so here, yeah, but in modern JavaScript, they are not recommended because of control and flexibility, especially with your code or with your program. So, like we have been able to see that we got a type error when I try to use any of this method to manipulate the DOM with the HTML elements that we have. So these are not a recommended way of, working with string anymore in modern JavaScript. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.